Welcome everyone to Health Coach TV. I'm your host, Dr. Shauna Menard, and wow, do we have a great story for you. If you are in your 50s or above and you have struggled with weight loss, do I have an inspiring story. Dr. Glenda, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Shauna, for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to give you a proper introduction. We're going to give them a little bit of your amazing background so they have an idea of who they're speaking with, and then we're going to dive right into your story. So Dr. Glenda Shepard has been a registered nurse for 37 years, including 12 years as a nurse practitioner. She's the founder and CEO of Triumphant Strength and Triumphant Women Health, Holistic Health Coaching. And she has a health and wellness ministry that empowers holistic well-being. She grew up in Texas, and at 13, Glenda weighed over 200 pounds. And you can imagine how that led to a lot of turmoil. It led her to depression and even suicidal thoughts. She was able to overcome obesity and eating disorder, and she believes God ordered her years of struggle and that they prepared and equipped her with the triumphant strength to lead others, and boy, does she ever. So Glenda's message of hope is to never give up. So you're going to want to hear from her. Today, Dr. Glenda is a widower of a 21-year marriage, a mother, an accomplished health and wellness nurse practitioner, end-of-life palliative and hospice provider, a functional fitness trainer, a competitive figure bodybuilder, and a speaker, and of course, a holistic wellness coach, and a mighty woman of God. So with that, please welcome and thank you for being here, Dr. Glenda Shepard.
Thank you, Dr. Shauna. Again, it is such an honor to be here. I'm excited about this opportunity. Thank you.
I'm excited for people to hear your amazing story. So what is it and who is it that you are excited about helping these days, and what is it that you do?
You know, Dr. Shauna, my heart is women. I've always had a heart for women because we carry so much, we do so much, and we usually put us last. So I am passionate to have women, especially postmenopausal women. I'm postmenopausal, so I understand that we can become at the age of not wanting to try or to think that it's possible. So my heart is to empower and to educate that woman that it's never too late, and to lose that stubborn weight or to improve the energy that you once had and that you lost, to reclaim your sexy confidence, knowing that you are who you are because God created you to be amazing, and to live triumphantly with triumphant strength so that you are living your soul satisfying passion. That is who I want to help.
Awesome. I absolutely love that. And I hope you don't mind. But the thing is, the one thing that we haven't touched on at all is probably, I mean, you've got lots of qualifications and lots of experience. We're going to delve into that. We were adding it up, and it's nearly 40 years
40 years.
helping people with health and wellness. You have
Yeah.
lots of experience. But the most amazing thing is potentially your age. So you're kind of age defying. Do you mind telling people how old you are?
I am 62. I am 62, and I can tell you that I look back and I can't believe it. It's like, wow. And I'm so thankful that I started this journey when I was younger, because it has preserved me and it has enabled me to be where I am today. So, yes. However, it's never too late, regardless of when you start. It's
Yeah.
never too late to get started.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you've had, we're going to dive into your journey and kind of like
Okay.
not staggered starts, but it didn't all happen overnight. And you
No.
had this phase, this phase, this phase, this phase, and you're always moving forward. You're always going to that next level.
Yes.
Even just as is more recently with your doctorate, always
Yes.
going to that next and next level. So that's wonderful and a testament to healthy living that you do. So
Yeah.
how is it that you came to be so passionate about helping these women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, when you help younger women too, but reclaim their health? Tell us a little bit about your story. What happened? Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about your background and how you came to do this work.
So my story started when I was a young girl growing up in Texas, and my mother was an incredible Southern cook. Okay. The food was tasty, not healthy, tasty. And I can still remember that she did a lot of frying, and she would use the same cooking oil over and over. It would sit on our stove top, and she would pour it in and the next day use it again. Oh, I'm so thankful. I know it was rancid, but I'm so thankful that I survived that.
Yes.
So growing up, I was overweight. I was an overeater, and I was encouraged to clean your plate. And typically it was plate number two. So you can imagine unhealthy food, overeating, overweight. It goes all hand in hand. And I didn't understand how to change it. And I can just remember feeling depressed. I can remember not feeling beautiful. I was dark skinned. I had kinky hair. I love my kinky hair now, and I love my dark skin. But I really didn't have the concept and the knowledge of nutrition, how to eat, especially when you were encouraged to clean your plate. So at the age of 13, I became deeply depressed, and I said, I've got to do something. So I started crash dieting. And I can remember my first diet was the grapefruit diet. I had a grapefruit for breakfast, morning, and dinner. That was it. And by the second, maybe the third day, I was so lightheaded. I remember I was in my closet and I was looking for something to put on. And I bent down, stood up, and I hit the wall because I had fainted. I know now that was orthostatic hypotension. I didn't know it at that time, but I do now. And I said to myself, okay, this is not sustainable. I can't keep doing the grapefruit diet because I have no energy. So I started something else. And that something else was to eat until noontime. I had a regular breakfast, a regular lunch, and then I would stop eating. Well, now I know that that's intermittent fasting. Didn't know it then, but I was intermittently fasting. So I did that. It was sustainable. I lost the weight, but guess what? Got really flabby because I lost muscle mass. I didn't do it right. So I went from 200 pounds down to 150-ish. I wasn't fat, but I was flabby. I had no tone. And I thought, what the heck? This is no good. I don't like this. Again, deeply depressed, deeply in despair. So I don't know if you want me to keep going with the story. Okay. So I went through high school. And after high school, I said, okay, I always had told my mom I wanted to be a nurse. I had a heart to serve people and to help people and take care of people. So I went to nursing school, and I was really hoping nursing school would put the pieces together for me. The how to feed my body, how to tone up my body, all of the how to's that I was wanting to understand didn't happen. I understood how to give this medication and what this side effect was, but nothing about what I was truly seeking and wanting to know. So I graduated from nursing school and I was distraught. I'm like, oh goodness, I spent all this time and this is not what I want to do. So I was going to the gym, I was working out, I was trying to do something. And this was about the time, listen to this was about the time when personal training was coming out.
For that.
Because yeah, it was in the 80s. And personal a personal trainer was for the rich and the famous, right? Not for someone like me. So there was this guy at the local gym where I was at, and everyone flooded to him for help. So I became a client as well. And he taught me how to lift and how to train and how to tone up my body. And over time, it happened. And I was obsessed. I fell in love. I'm like, yes, this is it. This is a piece of what I've been seeking. So I toned up the body pretty much, but I didn't learn the nutritional part. I was still an overeater, and it pushed me into an eating disorder, believe me. I would overeat, but felt guilty and didn't keep it. And so that was a vicious cycle. That was a 7-year cycle that I battled with. So, still on my quest to understand nutrition, because the fire that was inside my belly would not let me just be at rest. So I continued to seek. I got certifications in nutrition, certifications as a personal trainer, certification as an exercise instructor, certifications, trying to put the pieces together. I wish I had had me back then.
Yeah. Yes.
So, yes. So I rewind forward, and after I went through my first pregnancy, I was 32 years old, and I said, I'm a mother, and this is where it stops. So that's where my eating disorder stopped. Motherhood changes you. It does. And it was a blessing. And I really started to focus more on personal training and continuing to seek the nutritional education that I wanted. And I put those pieces together. And so here I am, 30 years later, after 32 years with my first pregnancy, and fell into bodybuilding in my early 40s. Yes,
That's
that
fantastic and
uh,
inspirational, just right there. Yeah.
that was another obsession because bodybuilding took it to that next level. And yeah, so it has really been a journey that I've enjoyed. And I know that God has ordered my steps. I went through those years of struggle, of depression, of despair, because I can understand how it feels to be in a body, to be in a mental capacity that you're just not thriving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
so firsthand, and then of course now personally, and then also professionally,
Mhm.
is an incredible story to do that. And are there some like take home messages, things that you learned from, uh, childhood obesity, basically, 13, 200 pounds? Any like take home messages that you took away from that experience?
I am just thankful that I had God in my life. My mother was a devout Christian woman, and I'm thankful that through her guidance and her love for the Lord, that it planted those seeds in me because I know that God guided me because I didn't have the knowledge. I had the suicidal thoughts because that voice was telling me God doesn't love you. If he loved you, why would you look like you look and feel like you feel? And I didn't have the knowledge then to understand who that voice was coming from. And I could have believed it and actually fell prey to that. But God was there. He knew I needed his guidance. And that fire that he put in me, and it's still there. It is still there. That's why I'm a health coach now, because I want to help women to understand it's never too late. Do not give up.
Yeah.
Continue to seek. And professional help is priceless.
Yeah. Yeah, it is because you can't see your own blind spots. You can't give yourself your own haircut. Like even the best Olympians have a coach. And
Yes.
the best at any sport, they have a coach, and it is really helpful to have somebody sort of show you how to do it. And if you've been trying it for a while and it hasn't been working, well,
Yes.
to invest in professional help is really priceless, because it's the difference between getting results and not getting results for the most part. And something else that you were sharing earlier too is that nutrition's not the foe, not the enemy. Like,
No,
food is not
not at
bad.
all.
Like, food is not the enemy, but we kind of have a distorted relationship or with food sometimes, especially if it extends to eating disorder. But I think most people have a warped relationship with food.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I had to learn food is not the foe, it is the friend. We need nutrition. And so my whole program is built on nutrition is medicine, medicine is nutrition. That's our foundation. We have to feed the body the proper nutrients, the
Yeah.
cellular health. That is what's going to keep a healthy body. Cellular health. Yes.
And I love your journey that you've shared about going from, okay, so that starting spot, your rock
Yes.
bottom starting spot. And then
Yes.
then there's that the guy in the gym, the personal
Yes.
trainer that you go to, and
Yes.
you're like, hey, exercise, this helps. And then becoming an aerobics instructor initially, and then a personal trainer. Uh,
Yes.
in the 80s, and then continuing on, so then getting that and helping people. As soon as you are like, wow, this really helps, I'm building muscle, I'm toned, wow, this really works, I figured this out, I want to go help somebody else. And
Yes.
then and then taking it to the next level in your 40s, then doing the competitive bodybuilding, which is next level, which is awesome. um,
Thank
and
you.
then continuing, and taking it to the next level and doing, getting your doctorate of nursing practice, your DNP. Like,
Yes.
just always like, how can I serve? How can I serve? How can I enrich and expand and
Yes.
and improve my body, my mind, my
Yes.
artist service, all of
Yes.
that, just my
Yes.
spirituality, all of it. And just such a testament. And to see, when you kind of hit rock bottom, take the bounce.
Yes.
Don't stay down there. Take the hit and bounce up, and look at what happens. When you allow
Yes.
that to just allow that to lift you up, and then of course shine your light and help others. So
Oh, that's
you
good.
say
Absolutely.
is so with all of that you went through, is that why you decided to become a health coach and to help people more closely in that way?
It is, Dr. Shauna, because as I said, when I graduated from nursing school, I was disappointed.
Yeah.
It did not give me what I had thought I would be getting. I want to help people holistically. And I know now nutrition, it starts there. And so to be a health coach to me is just phenomenal. What we do is amazing. We give health.
Really, yeah.
We truly give health. I work now as a palliative nurse practitioner. I see end of life every day. I see the suffering of their chronic diseases with diabetes and heart and kidney. And what we've done to try to help people, we, meaning the healthcare system, is pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
We haven't addressed habits. We haven't addressed nutrition. We haven't addressed really what's important to keep the body healthy internally and then out.
Yes. Yeah.
So if people are still with their old habits and taking medicines, it's not going to, it's just a weak band-aid.
Yeah. And
And
as
you know that. You right?
and as Maya Angelou says, when we know better, we can do better. And more
Yes.
people are starting to know better, hopefully sooner and sooner. And as your story is a testament, is that it's never too late. It's
Never too late.
And you have clients and things that are, they're starting at all sorts of ages to say, hey, no, wait a minute, I want to make this better. I want to feel better. I want to have more energy. I want to lose weight. I want to be stronger, more confident, less aches and pains, all that kind of stuff. So how is it that, so you've been spending 40 years honing your skills in fitness and nutrition and spirituality and emotions and all of it, bringing it here for your clients. How do you work with people? How is it, how does that work for the most part?
So for the most part, I work locally with people, but I am available virtual. So I make it easy. My dream is to be global. I want a global health and wellness ministry that is helping to bring health and wellness to the body of Christ and to others. And again, women, that's my heartbeat, especially post-menopausal. And the reason why post-menopausal, having gone through menopause myself, I gained a little bit of weight and I could see, I said, this is interesting. If I wasn't with my training regime as I am and with my nutritional foundation as I have it, I can see how that sneaky weight can come on and it's hard. And you just feel like this is just it.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And people need to understand that that the macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, and fats, they should be consumed in a certain ratio. I really work with my clients to get them to understand that, to understand what is a carbohydrate. You would be, well, no, you wouldn't be surprised when people don't understand that the significance of protein.
Yes.
And so many of my women are under protein. They're undernourished with protein.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really true. And it is the building blocks of your hormones and having
Everything. Yes.
not just about muscle per se,
Yes.
it's like whole functioning and
The
it's
structure of the body.
yeah, it's so true. And and it is, even though they can be eating maybe lots of calories, for example, or like
Yes.
consuming lots of food, but
Yes.
still undernourished.
Yes. Yes.
Undernourished. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And
Yes.
now you help them both with nutrition and with exercise, with fitness. And tell us a little bit more about the things that you work on with people.
Holistic nutrition, movement, and I love functional movement. Functional movement is, for me, I'm a bodybuilder, and I know there's not too many people want my type of training regime. I get that. But functional movement is just being able to do everyday activities with ease. For instance, I remember a client, she was very overweight when we started. She lost maybe 20, 30 pounds kind of midway our training time together. She shared with me one time, she says, I just have to tell you, I can put my underwear on now and I'm not out of breath. Uh-huh. And it feels so much better. Putting on her underwear. I
And
cried. It
yeah,
was just so touching.
yeah. And
Yes.
it's it's building that muscle. It's not, necessarily to, look good in a bikini, but sure, go ahead and do that too. But it's about being functional, being able to function. As women, as all of us, as people get older, there's
Yes.
sarcopenia, there's more muscle wasting, and we're having
Yes.
falls and we can't get around as much. And
Yes.
so to really be proactive in building that muscle up is so helpful for their everyday functioning and joy and life and living and thriving, as you say. Yeah.
My motto is muscle is one of the key factors to longevity and a solid, good quality of life.
Yes. Yeah.
I see it every day in my palliative practice.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
And then most people don't make that connection, and so it's
yeah.
really helpful to kind of to 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 notice that and see, well, we have muscles for a reason, and really helps us to be stronger. When we're stronger, we're stronger. And so that's always good to know. Now, I know you help a lot with nutrition and exercise. I know mindset is a big
Oh
that you
my
work on.
goodness. You and I were talking about that
Yeah,
earlier.
some people are
Mindset.
struggling for a long time. So yeah, share a little bit about that.
Yes, I teach my clients about mindset. And this is usually right before we start into our program because I need to help them to understand change of mind. We can't live in the past because we can't change it. We can't, and not to live in the present. I want them to project what they want. I want them to see themselves in that body that they're hoping that they will get to. I want them to see themselves in that outfit. I want them to see themselves on that vacation, moving, having more freedom to do what they enjoy doing with their families. So I use a lot of projecting the future you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. It's very powerful. Becoming that.
very powerful.
I always talk about success is not something you get, it's something that you become. And to be able to visualize it and focus forward like that,
Yeah,
excellent, excellent. Love
yeah,
it. So
yes.
this is my favorite question to ask. So, Dr. Glenda, as someone who once weighed 200 pounds at the age of 13, and then to lose that weight, become a functional fitness instructor, a doctor, and all of this incredible work that you've done, and nearly 4 decades now of helping people with their health.
Yeah.
When it comes to weight loss, what is the biggest myth that you've seen what that people have?
The biggest myth that I've seen and that I crush is that when you're older, you can't make body change. You're too old. That is a lie. I'm 62 and I'm still making body changes. Yes, I'm very deliberate, but if we want something, we have to be intentional. Where you put your energy, that's where your attention is going to go. So it's never too late. And so you can still make significant improvement at any age. I have clients that are in their 70s and they're crushing it. They're crushing it. Yes.
And as we're sharing earlier with someone, the strength to and energy to put their underwear on without going out of breath. I mean,
Yes.
really to be able to function without, to do those daily activities, it's huge. And so just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to deteriorate. And you are a living testament and embodiment, and you walk your talk and you share that with others. And that's tremendous. That's great news for anybody, all of us over 50, that there is hope on the
Yes.
horizon, and that
Absolutely.
better. Yes.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Shauna. Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
Mhm.
I love it. What are a couple of tips that you can share with our audience and viewers? They might be sitting there and they're like, well, this sounds good, Glenda. Good for you. You've done all this stuff, but I'm struggling here. And, what can I do? What is something that you can share if they're maybe struggling with their weight or mindset or some of these sort of things?
Well, the first thing is to become clear on what you want
Mhm.
and to take away the negative thinking. What do you want? Make up your mind. And then I would say, go ahead and reach out for professional help. As I said earlier, professional help is priceless. I wish I had had someone like me when I was struggling. But so don't, you can bypass a lot of my struggles by going to someone. Yes, absolutely. And just to have that mindset, that triumphant strength that you can, and that if that is what you want to do, just say, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, and just go forth. Be triumphant.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. That's
Yes.
fantastic. What you've worked with so many women and
Yes.
really had so many success stories and just inspirational stories in their own right, apart from yours. But what are some of the, let's say, spin-off benefits, so that when you've worked with somebody, you help them with this, but then there was like a ripple effect? What are some spin-off benefits that you've seen, and can you recall a person or two, or an example, just to kind of highlight? Because I know when we start with one thing and we improve one thing in our life, it always has like this positive, return on our investment. It always has a positive ripple effect in our life. And so just share a couple of those great stories. It's always a great reason, why should I become healthier?
Exactly. There's one great story, but before I share that, I have to preface it by saying, when God said to me to help women, he said, because the woman will touch her home, because we do set the tone in our home, right? We are that person. And so I had this one client, she changed her eating, she started cooking differently, did the pantry clean out and all of that. Well, guess what? The family had to follow suit. And so that was a ripple effect that was just transformational. Yes, yes. And getting the husband involved also was empowered her to continue her journey. So it's always great when couples can do it in tandem. So that has always been a story that I've held in my heart. I had another client. When I first started with her, she didn't have time for sleep. She said to me, "Oh, I don't have time for sleep. 3, 4 hours, I'm good." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So talked with her about sleep and promoted it because sleep is our essential. It's medicine. Just as we're up in the day, we have to rest at night. There's a lot of biological changes that needs to happen. So when we were kind of like midpoint in our time together, she had lost about 20 pounds. She developed a heart condition. And because she had lost the 20 pounds and counting, and she had improved on her sleep, and she was moving more, when she went to see the cardiologist, he said to her, "I'm so thankful that you have already lost 20, you're sleeping more, and you're moving, because these are the things I would have said you need to start doing." So she believes, and I do too, that God fashioned us together at the right time, because he knew that was going to happen, and she needed to be in a better condition so it wasn't as devastating as it could have been. And
Right.
she's lost 35. So, and she's still working. She's still on her journey, and she's sleeping. She's sleeping. She loves to sleep now. So, yeah, I just love it, Dr. Shauna, when people do take our advice and they follow their plan and they get the results, because that's what it's all about. I want to see you get your results. I want to see you feel better, live better, and be better, because I know it works.
And a lot of people have spent decades depriving themselves
Yeah,
of their health and well-being,
yeah,
self-sacrificing, especially women.
yeah.
But then they can't care for others. They can't keep up with the demands that are placed upon them. And
Yes,
I always had a saying, you take a break or you're going to be given one. And kind of that's kind of what happened, right? No time
yes,
to break, no time to break. And you can get away with it, but I think she was in her 70s, was this lady?
yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
sooner or later, time to pay up on that debt, and
Exactly.
something happens. And so good that you were there, and you guys were just right at the right time, so that you can
Yes,
now help her in that, that it wasn't, mitigated the damage, and now you can help her in ongoing healing and recovery. Is so excellent, just with smart, healthy habits that most of us don't do. Like most
yes,
people don't do them. And so it's helpful to just take stock and say, hey, no, actually, this is important and we need to do that. And all of us go through seasons when we kind of get thrown out of balance. You've had them, I've had them. Uh,
yes,
in our early years, Yeah, we weren't the picture of health and we weren't living it either. But when we know better, we can do better. So yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
exactly. Um, I think you had a woman that you helped who had edema. I remember you sharing a story with me.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is a younger woman, about 10 years my age. But when we met, she had a lot of edema, which is body swelling. And from that, a lot of discomfort from just walking, the inability and the difficulty of walking up her stairs. And knowing me that that was inflammation, and a lot of food will cause inflammation. So we've been working on her nutrition and her movement. And fast forward, now she's no edema, body aches is minimal. And she recently, this is the good part, she recently went on vacation with her two younger daughters. And she said to me, I walked the whole time without using a walking cane because before she had to use a walking cane, that's how hurtful it was. But those are the stories, and these are the results that really keeps my heart just overflowing. And it helps me to say, yeah, I'm helping to bring health to people. And that's what I've been created to do. I love being a health coach. And I'm just so thankful that this is the opportunity right now that health coaching is becoming more credible, I will say, right?
Well, and lots of people call themselves health coaches without, and there's different niches and
Yes.
expertise, but I think more and more people who are really qualified and really focused on really helping and coming from a heart of service. There's more and more and more every day getting their messages out there through programs like this, but also in other ways that just it's like there is help out there for people. They don't have to go at all on their own for years and years trying to figure it out through trial and error. Someone like yourselves cracked the code on this. I remember like zooming in with you and you were just I can't remember if you were just starting or just finishing or maybe both. I think it was actually both with a client and helping them and just like I could tell how much you care about them and really helping them, showing them how to, personal training with them, showing them what to do, how to do it, so
Yes.
they can do it safely and be healthy. And, they want what you're having is
Yes.
basically what they're looking for. So
Yeah.
fantastic. And for this woman with the edema to have the swelling go down and to be
Yes.
able to go on vacation with their daughter without, that it makes the trip more enjoyable.
Yes.
If you're more solid and sure-footed and you have more energy, it's going to be just so good. And so it ripples through in relationships and examples and role models for others, and just so great. I just want to thank you and bless you for all of the amazing ripple effect, shining your love and light out there in the world, and just really being, a force for good, and really helping people. So thank you so much, Dr. Glenda, for all the work you do.
Well, thank you, Dr. Shauna, and it's my honor.
Awesome. How can people, if people are listening, are like, hey, I want to talk to this woman. She's my gal. I want to talk to her. I think she would be fun. I think this would, she would be able to help me with my journey. How can people get in touch with you?
So the best way is my website, which is triumphantwomancoaching.com.
Awesome. So that's triumphantwomancoaching.com.
Yep.
TRIUMPHANT, woman, WOMAN, coaching, like coaching.com. So I
Yep.
like to always spell that. And your last name, Shepard, is SHEPARD. If people are looking,
Correct.
so Glenda Shepard. Thank you so much for being here. And I just want to, again, thank you so much. And for all of you, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Health Coach TV. Feel free to connect with and message Dr. Glenda. She's just an absolute delight to connect with. And if there are other aspects of health that you want to know more about, pop that in the comments. I will seek out an expert in that particular niche and bring that topic to an episode of Health Coach TV. Of course, if you like this video, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more episodes of Health Coach TV. Thank you so much, Glenda.
Thank you, Dr. Shauna. Thank you, everybody.
Be good for you.